All right, the second round is underway. At the 38th pick, Sixers go defense yet again. We get shooting guard Kyrie Thomas out of Creighton. I actually like this pick a lot. We needed to really go heavy on defense because we were so poor at guarding the perimeter. Now, he's not a big guy, but he's got really freakish athletic or long arms. That seems to be key in this draft. There's a lot of athletic guys, long arm guys, but this guy's a hard worker. He's improved every year. I was thinking we might take him with the 26th pick, but he fell to the second round. And this is good for the Sixers. We did trade the 39th pick, so that guy from Germany, Bonga, won't be ours. It's a stash player that went to the Lakers anyway from the trade that was done last night with LA. So what we get in Kyrie is another long-arm defender that can help us guard the perimeter. Improved his free throw shooting from 56 all the way to, I think it was 80%. So that just shows you he can put in the work. He's another guy that went to college for close to 4 years. I think he was a 4-year player, if I'm not mistaken. So there's a theme there with the Sixers. You want to get guys that you can instantly plug and play. And I think he definitely helps us out. So awesome pick for the Sixers with Kyrie Thomas. I was hoping we were going to get him in the first round, but we got him in the second. So that's cool. It's dope. We got 2 more picks left, 56 and 60. We'll see what they convey, if they're going to be, stash players, which they probably will be. He's star hunting, Josh Flames. I know he thinks that Zhaire Smith is a clone of Kawhi Leonard. I don't know about that. Which may end up allowing high school players to enter the draft. Could be the asset that allows for a realistic trade. Brett stabbed me in the back with a katana. Yeah, it makes you think of that pick that's somewhere down the line, if that's going to lead up to a trade. I don't know, but with trading down 6 spots, we were able to save $1 million there. He's going to make a trade. They're going after Kawhi. I don't think they are. I know it sucks, Philio224. I mean, we just got to see what happens. I really liked Mikal, but it is what it is. Zhaire Smith is a new Sixer, so we just got to roll with the punches and roll with him. I'm going to give the kid a chance. It wasn't the ideal pick, but he's a Sixer now. He's great defensively, which we really, really needed. He didn't really shoot a lot in college, but that doesn't mean that he can't develop a shot. So let's give him a chance. We got Shamit, that was a really good, pick and pop player that can hit an open shot from downtown. It's like getting the dream jobs, just get fired a day after. Yeah, I know, it sucks, dude. It definitely does, because it would be a great story. You play for your for your college team, and then you grow up watching this team because he's a local kid, and then you play for the Sixers, and then for that to just be taken away, your mom works for the organization. I mean, it sucks. Imagine how he feels, but you just got to roll with the punches. It's a business. It's okay, though, It's not like we drafted a guy that we didn't need, like a position of need. We needed a defender. He's a great rebounder. He's a high flyer. You'd be surprised what could happen. I don't know if y'all remember when Westbrook was coming out way back when. He was literally just known as a defensive technician, and look what he turned into. So you really never know what could happen. Let's give Zhaire a chance. I mean, he does have a really good vert. Imagine the passes, a lot of backdoor cuts. Ben Simmons lobbing the ball to him. Super athletic and rebound, which I think is huge to get another guy that can get in there and crash the boards. He's KJ. Nah, I don't think he's KJ McDaniels on any level. Nah. KJ really couldn't defend like this kid. This kid is an elite defender. Elite. Although I was thought the more ideal fit was Bridges, but I think this kid was the best defender in the whole draft with offense. He's got a little bit of an offensive game. He can create a little bit of his own shot. And a lot of these times when these kids go to these programs, they don't get to show all their tools. It happens in Kentucky a lot in these big programs. But if you look at that Texas Tech team, I mean, they literally willed themselves on defense. They had a lot of good defenders on that team. He's, put his nose to the grindstone type of kid. We get that in Kyrie Thomas. I think he's another player that's going to come in here, work really hard. Went to college 4 years. He's not one of these one and done players, so he's going to be able to be plug and play right away. Maybe hit the corner three. I like our draft so far. If we fold, someone just follow basketball. Trade, yeah, we better not trade Fultz. But I don't think we're going after after Kawhi Leonard. I just don't think it's going to happen. I think he's going to end up in L.A. if the Spurs don't end up keeping him. They drafted Lonnie Walker, so there's no need for Fultz because they have DeJounte Murray, too. So what are they going to do with 3 guards? Don't make any sense. I never thought Kawhi was possibly going to come in here. They're not ready to give up on Markelle Fultz because he was in trade talks to acquire Michael Porter Jr. earlier in the week, too. It is useless to us, that 2021 pick. But, I mean, you don't know. You could use that somewhere down the road. But as for now, I don't see them trading it to acquire Kawhi Leonard. Oh, we traded Kyrie Thomas? See, I got the draft paused. That's awesome. For what? I didn't get that update. It's been happening when I've been making these videos. I've been finding out while I'm doing the videos what's happened. No, we took him afterwards. Isaac Bonga, that guy. We didn't trade for that guy. Oh, we traded Kyrie. Detroit gets the pick for Kyrie. I don't know what we gave Detroit. That just means that these guys were not going to make the roster then if they're trading these people away. I don't know what we got from Detroit. So, Mikal was perfect for us, and we got a guy who can't shoot. It's not that he can't shoot. He just wasn't willing to shoot at Texas Tech. But, you know, he worked hard on his game, and you can always learn how to shoot, in my opinion. They haven't updated it. Bonga was the Detroit pick. Oh. Okay. Because I saw Isaac Bonga was the dude from Germany, was the 39th pick that they said we took. But obviously that pick was traded from to LA yesterday. Or last night. But, you know, of course, Philly's trying to gear up and do everything they can to acquire LeBron James. So by trading down, they save $1 million. By getting cash with the pick that we traded last night to LA, you get more cash that you could throw towards this. You know, J.J. Redick is a cap casualty. I don't think he's going to be coming. We got to get rid of Egghead. He's eating up a lot of cash, like $8.6 million. So we got to try to get rid of him. I don't know who's going to want to take him. We might just have to cut our losses. But Mikal Bridges, again, I know everybody's going to be upset with this. I am too. I thought he was a great fit. But Zhaire Smith does fit a need, too. He definitely does. So we'll just have to see. Roll with the punches. You never really know. Brett said that Mikal would just slide into the rotation, but Zhaire has earned minutes. Then why would you get rid of him? Yeah, I'm not sure. We drafted, since we had the 38th and 30, Philly 0224, since we had 38 and 39, you know, the 38th and the 39th pick, we drafted them, but we don't own the rights to the 39th pick. We traded them last night to the Lakers for a 2019 second-round pick and cash. So, technically, yes, that was our pick that we drafted, but the rights are not ours. They're going to go to L.A. So, you know how they're a little late on ESPN with the trade updates and so on and so forth. When I went to the draft last year, they were like 20 minutes behind the trades that were happening. Like, everybody was getting the updates on their phone, and then they came out and they announced it like 20 minutes later. So, they're a little behind. When I did see that Kyrie Thomas was traded to Detroit, I did get that update. I don't know what the compensation was. But this is the year that, you know, you try to gear up and you try to get a Paul George or LeBron James or whoever. But my thoughts is they're going to L.A. So we got more second-round picks. Are you kidding me? They're just doing that because of roster spot and cash. That's why they're doing this. These guys weren't going to make the team. We basically have pretty much a full roster. I guess they figured that none of these kids were going to be able to break the rotation because we've got the TLC and Cork Maz. Um, that would be the explanation for this. Not enough roster spots by trading these second round picks is what I get it. What I take that as. But Zhaire Smith is a Sixer. A lot of people might not like it. It is what it is. You know, you got to look at it. True Sixers fans, it might suck, but I don't think you should bash the organization for what they're doing. They have been really good at what they've done to this point. Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see. Really, Philly 0224. The draft is a crapshoot. Was he a better college player? Possibly, but we don't know what he's going to do as a pro. You really don't know. Look what's happened over the years. You know, will and determination, talent. We'll just have to see. We cannot judge a trade until 3 or 4 years down the line. Same with the Fultz thing. People jumping off Fultz and saying we should have took Tatum. Well, they weren't saying that beforehand, before they saw what happened. But you can't judge a guy that played 82 games versus 14 games. How can you jump off of the Fultz wagon if he's barely even played any games? You don't know what's going to happen. So you judge a trade later on down the road, and not till now. But if they obviously miss, you're going to be looking at this like, oh, it's going to be another mishap. But that's the way it goes, and we're just going to have to see what happens. These last two picks are probably going to be nothing. They're probably going to be stash players or guys that will possibly trade. But we acquired apparently 4 second-round picks. So we're just adding to the slew of second-round picks that we have for the next few seasons. I can't defend this trade with Bridges. He was a perfect fit, and I think this story hurts a lot more just because he was a local kid. He won 2 national championships at Nova. It was like the perfect scenario. You get a guy that's a 3-and-D player that can defend, that can shoot the 3. He slides in perfect with our rotation. I mean, you couldn't make up a better story, and then you go ahead and trade him for a guy that's a little less talented, I guess you could say, on the offensive end. He's not a prolific shooter like Mikal Bridges is, but they can both defend. They're both long. I think Zhaire might be able to create his own shot rather than Mikal just being a spot-up shooter. But does it sting? Yeah. It sucks. It would have been nice to have a hometown kid play for your, hometown team, but again, there's nothing we can do about it. I'm not going to be worried. I'm disappointed, but I'm going to stick by Zhaire. We're going to see what's going to happen. Don't give up. Everybody, don't give up. You got to trust the process. Trust the process. Just relax. It's fine. We got our main pieces. Fultz will be coming back next season. We'll have a healthy Fultz. You got Embiid, Simmons. Added a piece that we desperately needed, a perimeter defender. You need that lockdown defender, and what we saw from Robert Covington, he can't consistently do it. So you go out and get a guy. Hopefully he can improve his jumper and use it more consistently, but imagine him in the transition game. He's going to be fun to watch. A lot of alley-oops, a lot of backdoor cuts. God's going to be able to block out, get rebounds, and lock down the best offensive player on the opposition. So, we're just going to have to see what happens. We'll make it past this. It'll be all right. Hey, man, it's in the past. You got to look till next season. Can't talk about what happened this year. We won 52 games. We won 52 games this year, far exceeded anybody's expectations. We weren't going to win the championship anyway, so it doesn't matter if we did beat Boston. We probably wouldn't have beat Cleveland, and then we would have got swept by the Golden State Warriors. So, whatever. It is what it is. It's a learning experience. How often do you have such a great season where you ride this all the way and win the championship? It doesn't happen. You have to take your punches. He might not. I don't know where Kawhi Leonard's going to go. They're going to wait to see what LeBron James does, because why would they fuel and help out one of their rivals by, LeBron goes to L.A. and then you're just going to let Kawhi go there? No, not going to happen. Spurs know what they're doing. Again, they had the same situation with LaMarcus Aldridge, wasn't happy, wanted to leave, demanded a trade. Popovich and R.C. Buford sat down with them, discussed what was going to happen. Both sides met on a level playing field, and he ended up signing an extension. So we don't know how badly Kawhi and the distrust between him and the front office is, but Popovich is awesome coach. If anybody could get this done, it's him and the Spurs organization. And if they are going to move away from Kawhi, they're going to get as much possible as they can for him. They're not just going to let him walk. So we're going to see what's going to happen. But if he did try to inquire and come to the Sixers, I mean, you're talking Saric, Covington. We don't have the 10th pick anymore. Fultz, and we're not willing to give up. If we weren't willing to give up Covington and Saric to jump into the top 5, we're not going to throw in Fultz, too, to acquire possibly a 1-year rental of Kawhi Leonard. It's not going to happen. And I don't think he'd come here anyway. Even if he did come here for a 1-year rental, he would leave right after the next season. But, now we look after the draft, we look forward to the offseason that starts July 1st. The team's going to try to do everything they can to acquire LeBron James, be it as it may, flying all the banners around on planes. You just try to vie for the best player in the world right now. See if he can come here. But who knows? His son, there's been reports that his son is trying to create a super team out there in high school. It could be. That's the thing. You got to look at the glass half full. You look at it, we did get an unprotected pick from Miami. Miami's probably not going to be good within the next few years. I mean, look at who they have. They had an aging D. Wade be their main player. I mean, Hassan Whiteside, Justice Winslow, these guys aren't building blocks. So that pick might be valuable in a few years. And who knows, we might be able to use it. You don't know what's going to happen with Fultz or Simmons or Embiid. So you want to hold on and always collect as many assets as possible. He's going to have a breakthrough year. Yeah, so do I. I 100% believe in Fultz. Never gave up on him. Yeah, exactly. Winslow, who's not a building block. He's a role player at best, a defender, a D&3 guy. Kind of like a Zhaire Smith is. So you need those guys. You need those glue guys to hold the team together. You've got your stars in Embiid and Simmons. Now you need to implement the glue guys. The Bruce Bowens, Captain Jacks, these type of players. The Ginobili's. Funny I use the Spurs. What do you think about Michael Porter Jr. is a beast if he's healthy, but what really scared me about him was that injury to his back. And clearly a lot of teams passed him and didn't think he was medically cleared. I mean, your spinal column's huge, and to be that young and have an issue with your back kind of throws up a lot of red flags for me. But that's a risk you take, kind of like with the whole Embiid thing. I think it was a little different, though, because it was, I think when Embiid got hurt, it was something in his back, but it wasn't his spine. And it was his L4 and his L5 with Michael Porter Jr., but it's a risk to take, I think, at 14. Yeah, that's a major injury, guys. That's huge. And I know that the Sixers, that's who the Sixers were trying to trade up for when you heard the reports of trying to jump into the top 5 to get him. But obviously they didn't like his medical. And I don't think he's going to be able to play. If he can somehow overcome that and become the talent he's supposed to be, I hope the best for him. It would have been awesome to have him here. But teams were asking for Fultz, Saric. They were asking for a lot to jump up in the top 5, obviously. And the Sixers were enamored with MPJ. But the injury was just too much to overcome. Way too much. Your spinal column? Yeah, it ain't nothing to mess with. He might not be able to walk within the next 10 years. I hope everything goes well for him out there. Because they got a really good team out there in Denver. So I'm hoping for the best for him. His brother's in this draft, too. He hasn't gotten picked yet. That I know of. Since I have the draft paused. But Sixers' main goal was to try to make a big splash in free agency. Get some glue pieces. Perimeter defenders was the most important thing next to shooting. And we got them both with Zhaire Smith and Landry. Shamet, who's a nice pick and pop player. Big guy. You know, went to I think he was a junior, but went to a good program in Wichita State. It's got an ugly looking shot, but it don't matter what it looks like as long as it goes in. But I'm happy with our picks. Yeah, it sucks. Mikal Bridges. I was really upset. It was kind of a head scratcher to me, but I'm gonna look at the glass half full here. Get a lockdown defender, guy that's gonna be able to shoot. His jumper it's not broken or anything, so you know it's cool. An athletic guy. I don't think he's KJ Daniels at all. 2.0 KJ Daniels wasn't that good. He was a scrub. And I think Zhaire Smith can definitely be a starting player in this league and possibly even win Defensive Player of the Year. He kind of reminds me of, not Kawhi Leonard, I don't see that, like Sean Marion. Jack of all trades, can go out there and do pretty much everything. Like an undersized 3, but a much better looking shot than Marion. Marion was like one of my favorite players. I love the Suns back in the day. Zach LaVine? Really? Is that what ESPN said? Was that his NBA comparison, Zach LaVine? If he can turn into Zach LaVine, I'd love that. I just don't see it. I mean, I watched Zach LaVine play when he was in college, and it didn't remind me of anything of Zhaire Smith. Dope if he turns into that. I hope I'm wrong. If he turns into Zach LaVine, I'd be ecstatic with this pick. But, I mean, you don't know. The draft's a crapshoot. The draft is a crapshoot, so we will see. I want to see how, Mikal Bridges, I'll definitely be following his career. It looks like they're really starting to build something nice out there in Phoenix. They had a really nice draft. I'm surprised they passed on Aaron Holiday, but that's because they made the trade with us. That was before I knew that. And they need a point guard out there. Alfred Payton's, ain't that good. But, yeah, man. Guys, I hope everybody's still happy. And it sucks now. Everybody's a little salty about this. But in the long run, I think we'll be okay. Yeah, we'll be good. So, I'm going to watch the rest of the draft, and after it's completed, it sucks. I get it. It does suck, and it would have been a storybook ending for even just the Villanova fans and just us as a whole living in Philadelphia, watching them win and then having him come here. It would have been nice if DiVincenzo would have fell to the second because I would have loved to have him on the roster too, but it is what it is. Teams break apart. Your favorite players go away. But we will see what happens, guys. Zhaire Smith, Kyrie Thomas is now gone. Landry Shamet is the new Sixers so far. Going to make the roster. We will see what they do in the Summer League. All right, guys. I'm out. Peace.